prop tonight, Nick. Another big storyline yesterday, like beefy, bloodied Vladdy Jr. going 4 for 4 against the Yankees. He was 0 for 8 in the series leading up to yesterday's game, and he hits not one, not two, but 3 taters. So, and 2 of them off Kermit Cole. So anything you like Vladdy Jr. related in the prop department?
So Vladdy was not the guy who's on my radar, although I will say that first home run he hit off of Cole was absurd, too. That thing was in on his hands. I don't know how he got around on that one. But when you look at Salvador Perez, did it the night before. He had 2 bombs, a guy who a lot of us were on over the course of last season. Over 1.5 total bases for him tonight, going up against Casey Mize, a guy who he's done well against throughout the course of his career, 7 for 15. Got a double home run. Both those extra base hits came last season. And look, I know Mize is a little bit better against right-handed pitching than he does against left-handed pitching, but this is a guy who has a track record, has familiarity with him. They saw Mize quite a bit last season. If you want a little bit more value too, because that one's at like -105, Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases at +120. And I also like Connor Joe tonight. It's -115, it's a little bit lower, but he's been great to start the season. Over 1.5 total bases. But if you're just going to go with one, Salvy's the guy tonight.
All right, who's your guy tonight in the hitter prop department, Steve?
Yeah, staying with that Nationals-Pirates game, taking Josh Bell to go over 1.5 bases at +125. He's already collected a double and 2 home runs through the first 7 games of the season, which I think is more than he did through the first half of the entire year last year. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that already exceeded his numbers from last season. You look at what Brubaker has done, like I said, he really struggles against lefties, but last year with men on base, because we're expecting that already in the early going, opposing hitters hit 277 off him last year. So Josh Bell already flashing a little bit of power so far this season, getting him over 1.5 bases at +125. I think that's a really strong number there, especially with the early struggles by the Pirates bullpen as well. So even if he doesn't get it against Brubaker, there should be plenty of opportunities as this game goes on. So like getting the plus money here at +125 for Bell to go over 1.5 bases.
Hey, Steve, would you consider Vladdy Jr. over half a home run here, +320, so basically to go yard?
I mean, obviously you're chasing what happened last
Yes.
night. He's obviously not going to do what he did last night. You know, obviously home runs, the odds are so long because of how rare that it happened. So if you're throwing something small on that, by all means, but this is not something I'm particularly looking at for tonight.